Addiction is one of the most common ways people come to Jesus. Not because addiction is always dramatic, not because it's necessarily visible, but because it eventually exposes something we can no longer deny. Addiction shows up in many forms. For some, it's substances or food. For others, it's pornography or sex. For many, it's work, achievement, and approval. And for some others, it's emotional numbing through distraction. We usually talk about addiction as a behavior problem, something to manage, control, or overcome. But that isn't the whole story. Addiction is not primarily about behavior. Many people modify habits and never experience freedom. Others maintain sobriety and yet remain internally captive. So the issue isn't simply what someone is doing, it's what they're depending on. Here's what's really happening. At the core is a belief that often goes unspoken. This helps me cope. This helps me survive. This helps me function. But eventually, that belief collapses. The coping mechanism becomes the captor. And when that happens, a deeper awareness surfaces. I am not free, and I cannot free myself. And with that realization, a new question awakens. Who has the authority to break this hold? This realization shifts the question from willpower to authority. Not what habit do I need to change, but who has power over what controls me? And this is why addiction so often becomes a direct pathway to Jesus. What addiction reveals is where trust has been placed in coping, in numbing, in self-managing, in self-mastery, or in Jesus as deliverer. When self-control collapses, Jesus becomes visible not as a motivational force, but as the one who has authority to set captives free. Addiction exposes that freedom cannot be manufactured. It must be received. That opens the way to encounter Jesus as the one who breaks chains, restores authority, and reorders life from the inside out. The Year of the Who exists because freedom doesn't come from habits, behaviors, or routines.